Hello, everyone, and welcome to Live Reality Games podcast. This is episode 13 of South African Survivor, Immunity Island. You were joined with just the two regulars today. This episode, Vince, there was look, it was like bad play versus, in my eyes, bad play versus bad play, and then the inevitable happening anyway.
Yeah, it's bad play on top of bad play on top of bad play.
Yeah,
all around.
But it makes it interesting though. Like
Yeah,
if we just had like a stock standard like episode where it was just smart play, it would have been quite boring. Where we have, I guess, the characters of this season actually producing something. Even though I disagree with everything that was done, besides one thing. One thing makes sense, but then that didn't happen anyway. I guess we should talk about what's happened in the episode and break it down.
Yeah. Yes. Before that, just to say sorry that people who actually follow us, and I mean, if you do, we are broadcasting at these weird hours and inconsistent.
Oh, yeah.
Because we've been busy and Josh had a vaccination and he needs some time to collect his thoughts.
No, I was actually quite sick from the vaccination. I still suggest getting the vaccination though. I had a couple of side effects, but then, it happens. It happens. But I'm glad I've got it. And I can't wait for my second dose. So get vaccinated, kids.
Yes. And I just want to say, like, people have been complaining about like this season's lack of character, but I feel like this last few stretch there's a lot of really character focus. So
the funny thing is people talk about the lack of character this season, but I'm not gonna forget most people out of this season. Like, I'm gonna walk out at the end of this season and be like, oh, I loved Santoni, I loved Chappies, I loved.
Well, that's only a few.
No, but there's a few. But like, that's all you need every season, though. Like, you don't want 20 outstanding like personalities that like you love everyone, but it's hard to like remember who they are because they all gel together. Having like some duds like Smash in there, like they're good additions because you've got somebody to like pick on. Like, I know it sounds harsh, but like you've got somebody to like not like in their gameplay sense, and then you've got people to love. Yeah.
But I just feel like South Africa is really distinct. They always have like this like really like sort of not so bright or like casual player to get to the finals. Like, season 6, with Tom, I think, and season last season have like Dural's never seen or like never like know how to play, and then this season we have Smash. So it's sort of like a staple South African strategy.
Yeah, it is. It is. After watching, like, I've finally watched all South African seasons now, and
wait, you watch every season?
Yeah.
From season 1.
Yeah.
Where did you find the links?
Okay. I got them off a friend. I'll talk to you later. Yeah, I don't want to say anything illegal.
Incriminating.
Yes. I cannot incriminate anyone on this podcast. Yes, but all I want to say is, to be honest, this is by far my favorite still. By far, I think it's more because of the fact we're watching it as it goes. Like, I feel like if you watch like old seasons of us. I'm getting a little bit off topic here, but like if you watch old seasons and you watch it all in one day, it becomes like, oh yeah, that was cool, but yeah. But like when you're watching a season at the time, it becomes more like dramatic because you're like thinking about each episode, dissecting everything.
And you can wait for them. You have to wait.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's why this is. To be honest, this is in my top 5 seasons of all time. By far, I love this season. I can't. This is a season I recommend to watch. Like, if you're somehow listening to this podcast and haven't watched this, I don't know what you're doing to start off with, but watch this season. Yeah. I guess is there much fallout from the episode before? When we see Water go, is there a little bit of fallout? I remember there was like
it was just Chappie telling Tyson, you need to respect me. Like, I mean, Gambasat, and then Tyson was like, no, I don't need to. Like, I don't respect you as a person, and that's it. and it's been consistent throughout the episode. You can see Tyson's making faces when Chappie's talking, or like, you know, and he's like, anyway.
Yeah. I actually think I agree with Chappie's here.
I agree. Like, if you,
yeah,
there's no need to be nasty.
No, there's no need to be nasty towards each other. Like Chappie's wasn't rude to Tyson.
Yeah.
Where Tyson was just like sort of like, screw you, I hate you. Like, it's just like, no, you've done something bad and I wasn't able to do it, so you're in trouble. Like, it was just like, yeah. But the whole stealing debacle of like last episode was just like, we've all stolen before, but as soon as somebody else does it and I'm not included, I'm unhappy.
No, I feel like it's, for me, if for me, from my point of view, is that I'll be upset with someone stealing the rice, but then like I wouldn't be like that upset. You know, I mean, I will be upset, but I won't be like, F you, you're dead to me, that kind of stuff. It would be like, you're a horrible human being, so whatever.
I would be unhappy that they stole the rice. However, I could understand why they stole the rice too, right? Why doesn't Tyson go steal rice now? Like, why don't they just cook whenever they want now? Like, there's no.
There would be chaos.
No, but I would do that now. Like, if I was Tyson, I'd be petty and I'd be like, cool, no worries, I'm gonna cook rice for myself and cook a big bowl of rice before the challenge. Like, that's what I would do. I'd just be the petty person, and I'd just be like, if you can do it, I can do it too, and then I'll just follow suit. And then see Chappies get annoyed, and then realize, and then Chappies should then realize, oh no, what I did was probably bad. But he knew he was doing bad anyway. Otherwise, he wouldn't be cooking it at like 3 a.m. in like an acre across the field. Like, he wouldn't. He knew what he was doing was wrong. But was it wrong? I don't think it's wrong. It's Survivor, right? It's another element to the game that you can't get unless you're out there.
But it is because
he'll lose jury votes for it.
It is communal food. Like, if you can't just go around and take and cook, if you want to, you ask permission. I feel like it's like a public shower, a public toilet. Like, you want to make sure it's clean. Like, I feel like it's sort of a, you're playing this game together or starving. You always have to, like, it's a game. I understand that, but it's also like, we're in this together. Like,
a public toilet, Vince. If you wreck a public toilet, right? I know this is gross, but if you wreck a public toilet, you're not going to go back to it, right? No, so you don't have to use that toilet after somebody else.
Okay, so, no, wrong. Maybe like your house, like toilet.
Oh, like, yeah. So like,
you're living in a bunch of houses, and then people just like, if people like just leave a mess, you'd be like, oh, why are you doing this?
Yeah, but
you can't just go around like, oh, because you've done this, I will do it again.
I don't know. If you know that 5 people in that household don't like you, you don't care what you do. Like, you just do what you want. I don't know. I have varying opinions to everyone. Like,
okay.
I'm low-key on Chappie's side. Sorry?
Well, if 5 people don't like you, the problem is you. So you need to reflect what happened.
Oh, yeah, of course. But like,
like,
I'm not going to change. I don't think Chappies is the type of person to change himself for the sake of others.
Yeah.
He's very stubborn like me. It's just, I'm not changing for anyone else. Why would I? You've got to learn to love me. And if you don't, well, you're lost, not mine. Okay,
let's move on to...
Move on. Yeah, so reward challenge. We have
the loved one challenge.
Yeah, the loved ones.
I'm surprised we have loved one challenge, because I thought, like, they have the quarantine and everything, so like they're not going to bring in a loved one, but I'm surprised that we do.
Yeah, well, I guess because they're in South Africa, I don't know what rules South Africa had during the pandemic, because obviously we're not there. Maybe they had a rule where they're able to visit each other. I don't know. I know it got bad there at one point, so maybe the government was like, screw it, let's just... You can do what you want. I have no idea, but I was surprised, to be honest, that they did actually have a family visit because of COVID. I was surprised. But obviously everything was COVID safe and everything like that. They would have done tests and everything to make sure everyone was safe. So that's what all of these reality shows have been doing. Like COVID tests every 2-3 days, I've heard, to make sure everyone is up and running and hasn't got any COVID. But yeah.
Which begs the question, like, if someone actually got COVID when they get testing, like, they don't have a backup for a family member. So with one person,
Yeah. Well, they
one
are in
person-
South Africa though, so maybe they did. Like
or maybe
maybe
they just fly in someone like straight away, but like, hey, like you got COVID, like just get other.
Yeah. Well, maybe
something.
they just get like a fake member of crew and pretend they're the brother or something. You know, like I don't know. I don't know the dynamics. Maybe there was like a backup family member. I don't know.
Hmm.
Maybe they've all got COVID on the show. Like maybe they're just like, we've all got it. Let's just go. I've no idea. I have no idea.
Okay, so and then we have the loved one come in. Anyone that sort of stood up to you, the loved ones, or
Nicole's brother.
I was gonna say. I was waiting for you to say.
Nicole's brother got a better edit than Nicole this season.
Yeah, true.
Like legit.
And then they got this doing this challenge. I thought it's sort of because when Nicole was saying that like they're gonna do a challenge together, so I thought like it's sort of like a challenge
Yeah.
for people, and then it just sort of turned out to be like they just putting a thing.
I thought Nicole was gonna win because I looked at her brother. I'm like, oh look how strong he is. I'm like, they've got this in the bag, and then it just turned out he had to put the urn on the head. What were your thoughts with like the reward win, like winning the reward? It was pretty cool. It was interesting, wasn't it?
Yes, I'm glad that it doesn't let like the players to choose. The usual path is like you choose who these people, and then they get to spend time with loved ones. But this one, it's like everyone gets to spend time, and then the winner, which is Chappie, gets to pick 2 people for compete in the immunity challenge. I don't really mind it because it is a reward. And if I would prefer the challenge, if this kind of challenge when you can pick something to do something, I prefer it to be more like everyone can do it.
I would prefer. Okay, here's what I would prefer. I like the idea. I do love the idea that everyone gets to keep their family members though, because of like this hard time that everyone's going through, and seeing family. Like, I think being out there for as long as I have been, and then seeing family, especially during COVID, and knowing that everyone's still safe at home, because you don't know anything, right?
Yeah,
I feel like it's very important that they've done that, which I'm happy with. I feel like though they should have had, if Chappie's won, he should have been able to like disadvantage maybe 3 people in the immunity challenge. It probably it throws a little bit more spanner in the works because they're not strategizing back at camp because they weren't even at the challenge. So now they're all conspiring about this guy that's like put in there. You sort of want them together all the time. Because they've like, it's not a reward challenge where he's like, I'm going to choose the 3 people I want to go with, and then we're going away to talk. They don't get to talk. They have the challenge, and then they get back in the bus, and then they can't talk in the bus until they get back to camp, right? That's how Survivor works, I'm assuming. And I'm surprised that wasn't the option. Like, why wasn't it like you have to get 2 balls in the center, or something to make it like stupidly hard where they can never get it anyway, but like still allow them to compete?
Well, I think the production wants to cut costs, like not setting up.
Yeah, well, true. All that would have cost a bloody fortune. Each setup would have cost nearly $1,000 to do.
Yeah.
So like, let's have a poll, and the poll's going to cost us $20, and put a $20 statue on it. That's going to cut down the costs. We're going to lose like $3,000 in costs. Yeah, I guess so. I guess.
But I feel like it can be like the first stage. They can make it a stage, right? Because in the first stage they have to throw the thing, and then to get the ball to drop on the thing, and then put it, then navigate in the maze. They could have say like the disadvantage is like or like Chappie can I don't know, like he can win a reward that goes to the final stage, so he doesn't have to go through the first stage.
Yeah,
that kind of stuff. I do feel like I don't know why they have to separate them. I thought like they're gonna go come together and watch the challenge at least, but no, it's just like they say it can, and then bit weird. But sorry,
I think I agree with that. Maybe like instead of having like how they had the rope with like the claw thing. Maybe have like 3 people had a stick or something, and they'd use a stick to get the thingo down, and then 3 people had like the rope with the thing. Like that's a small disadvantage, but it's like big enough that it's quite a while that would take, or they have to build the stick. They build the stick and they get them through the gate with the keys and stuff. Maybe have that option, or like I do wish everyone was competing.
Yeah,
but I like the idea of like a reward challenge giving disadvantage for the next immunity challenger. I really like that idea because like they don't need food every second episode, even though they got food all for free. Like there was no.
Well, thanks to our insurance.
Yes, out insurance.
Maybe you should pay us.
Yes. Speaking of out insurance, there is an idol at the reward challenge. Surprise, surprise! It's recurring theme. Obviously, this reward challenge, everyone's there. I don't like the idea of like an idol. I've never liked the idea of an idol being only specifically available for like one person to get. I've always liked the idea of like if it's a clue at camp and then the clue leads you to the idol, I'm fine with that because everyone's had a chance to get that clue. But if it's like a clue at a reward challenge and that's all it is, only like the people at the reward challenge have had a chance to have that idol, and I don't like that. But everyone can see this idol. Not everyone can see it, but you know what I mean. It's out in the open. Plus, there's also like family members there as well. And this is where we get Nicole's best edit. Sorry, her brother.
Was it Peter? I can't remember the name. Peter.
I don't know. Peter. I did try and find him on Instagram, but no luck.
Maybe you should use your Twitter and ask Chappie and see if.
Yeah, I should ask Chappie's on Nicole. Yeah.
Link us up.
Pretty sure he wouldn't be single.
Well, at least Nicole's brother have a really big role in this episode that he helped Kieran to get the idol. So
yeah, it's like sort of like the first idol like Nicole's sort of been a part of, besides the Marisha idol.
True.
Yeah, and her brother had more control of the idol than what she did.
I wonder if he can just say no, like no. Would you help?
He should be like, oh, is it up here? Cool. He should have grabbed it and just ran it to Nicole. Be like, here you go.
Yeah. Wait, is it allowed? Is it allowed?
No idea. I don't say why not.
Yeah, but like, hey, I don't need. Yeah, like I could just climb and get it. So not technically. So yeah, I think it's a heat in the moment. They're like, hey, can you help me get this? They're like, oh, okay, fine. But I think
it's like the sort of thing where you just can't be like, I should think about this for 3 minutes. It's just like, yeah, no worries, let's get it. Yeah. It's all good in hindsight. Like even afterwards in the confessional with Nicole, he's like, I should have probably waited for you. But like
I would probably just like not ask my brother to do it.
Yeah. But like him asking Nicole's brother is like literally just letting Nicole know that he has an idol at least. Like you know what I mean? Like he's given that information unknowingly. Like he would realize after he's done it that what he's done. But like at the time, he's just like, I need this idol. Who's a big guy? Let's get the big guy. But yeah. So Chappies wins immunity. Are we shocked?
No. I was thinking San Antonio was gonna win it, to be honest, at one stage.
Yeah, oh my gosh, imagine.
Oh my god, yeah, let's win.
Yeah. She was close.
Yeah, she was close. And she was close. And then Anila came in and Anila was close. And I was like, oh shit, like I don't want him to win.
Yeah. You know what though? I feel like if he had immunity, he probably would have went with the plan. Let's speak about Anila and his.
It would be a different plan. I don't think that. Because Chappie probably win challenges than Nicole. So if the reason why getting Nicole because she can win challenges, Chappie's more dangerous than her. So I don't think they would do Nicole.
What part of the bad plans do you want to talk about? Because there's multiple bad plans that we see.
Okay, let's just start with the beginning. Because the beginning was
start off with Kieran because Kieran technically makes the first move.
Yes, so Kieran wants to get her Nicole because his reasoning was if Nicole stay to final four, next tribal, I can't remember. She can technically win it, and then they have to vote each other out in like the final. Final four, and then they have to the three boys have to vote each other out.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why he wants to target Nicole. What do you think?
Okay.
Is that a bad move?
I feel like it's bad because who is going to be Chappies in next round? Right? I feel like Nicole is probably the only person. Like, say for example, even I know that Chappie swims, right? And it could be another swimming challenge. We don't know. It's Final Five. There could be like a big maze with a swimming element, which he's just going to take the lead, right? But Nicole at least can sort of lag just behind Chappie's with swimming, as we've seen. Like, she's not the best, but she is a lot better than everyone else. Like, imagine if the next challenge is swimming, right? The three boys aren't doing anything. It's going to be Nicole versus Chappie's. But if Santoni was there, then Chappie's has automatically won that challenge, right? Because them boys can't swim at all, and they've lost Nicole.
Well, no,
she's the only other chance of swimming.
I feel
if there is a swimming element.
Tyson and Kieran can swim, but
they're
not as good as That's but also Nicole can't, like, if you want to compete, like Nicole can like hold her like weight, but like she's still like come up short. So like
she's still gonna be behind. But like, say for example, it's a puzzle at the end or something. Like I feel like Nicole is a better choice to stay at the camp than what Santoni would be, just as a chance of like beating him at the next challenge. Like, you sort of need somebody else there to have a chance of beating him, because if you leave just everyone that's not good at the challenges there, this person that's winning the challenges is gonna win the way to the end regardless.
Yeah, to counter your point, I feel like Tyson, Kieran has won too. So, and Tyson's really quite physical. So I feel like we're not talking about, if we just take out the water challenge, those two guys would have a big sort of, they can like compete against Chappie. So it's not like completely they're like, doomed. So maybe the reason why, but I think it's valid that Kieran thinks of that, because it is in Final Four and Nicole can win, then those two both vote each other out, and then they could also win as well.
Well, remember, part of the whole idea of Anela joining the two boys was that Nicole was going to be with them to the end, and then they were going to get rid of Nicole at the end. That was the plan, right? And that's what Anela thought. So now, by targeting Nicole, he started to like make Anela like a bit worried about his position because of this reason, right? And this is why I don't like it, right? Kieran says he's a man of his word, and he has been, right? But then all of a sudden, as soon as like it gets closer down to the wire, he's like, the strategic side isn't making sense of what he said, right? If he makes it to the end, right, and Nicole gets out now, everyone's going to hate Kieran because of what happened, because he didn't stick to his word, especially by Smash, right? And Smash will let everyone know that, he did dirty and stuff like that, and he didn't keep his word. And Kieran's whole gameplay has sort of been like loyal to his group, right? That's been his gameplay. It's been loyal to his group. That's his gameplay. Where Chappie's at least has like a gameplay of like, I don't give a rat's ass of what I'm doing, but as long as I get to the end, that's all that cares for me, right? I would respect that more than somebody flipping at the end, because that person didn't have integrity and this person did right up until the end. Like, to me, it's like a loss scenario. I don't think it's the right thing to do socially. And I know I never really talk about social game. I know I never talk about it, but at this point, I feel like it was like the complete wrong move to do.
Okay, so to counter your point, I agree that that's why Smash won the flip, because that's the reason why. But I feel like Smash has to come to a point that he has to decide which one's more value to it. Because for Smash, it doesn't matter whether the three guys go to the end or Nicole, because he thinks he can beat Nicole. I feel like that's what he thinks, and so he has to pick. Like, at this moment, you have to pick whether you want to go with three boys or like with Nicole, because I think Nicole's going to pick him to be at the end. If Nicole's win, he's going to be at the end.
Yeah, that's why he wants Nicole.
Yeah, so he wants Nicole. So that's not. So like, it's just, but he like sort of into the old Three Amigos sort of line. So like, I don't think it's bad for Kieran suggested it. But I do agree that Kieran should have read his scenario. So you can tell like he doesn't trust it. So like,
exactly. And this is why Anela does his move. Well, it's not even I don't know what it was.
Okay, let's go into deep in depth.
Okay. So for some reason, Anela thought we should put more votes on Kieran and less votes on Tyson. Like, he wanted to split it 3-1. right?
Yeah.
When they had an idol.
3. He wants to do
3-2-1 split.
3-2-1. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Now, let's work this out. Clearly he hasn't watched any Survivor, especially not Champions versus Contenders 1 of Australian Survivor, because this exact same scenario has happened, where they potentially could split 2-2-2, which makes complete perfect sense. And Santoni's completely right. Can I just say that confessional of Santoni explaining the vote, like the 2-2-2 split, is like the best confessional of the season. Like, I want to rewatch that so much, and her just like completely shitting on Anella, like shitting on Smash, like asking what he's doing. Like, it's the best confessional, and I love it to death. But she's completely right. And then all of a sudden, because that doesn't go his way, he cracks it because it's no longer going to be his move, where it really still is his move.
Can we? So before we jump, I have a lot of thoughts about this. So first of all, he comes with 3-2-1, and then he tells these 4 people, like the 4 people, and then they say like, "Oh no, 2-2-2, it makes more sense." You know, like, you know, you can flush idol, you make sure one of the targets go home. Tyson can go home, and he's like, "No, that's too complicated." I was like, "How is that complicated?" So if you go in with your 3-2-1, and then Kieran plays an idol, and then who's going to go home? Nicole. And then he's like, "Oh no, but Nicole has a fire idol. So what's the point? Like, what are you talking about?" Just
it makes no sense to me. They also think the fire idol is going to save them. This is my issue. They think the fire idol is going to be like the savior, but it's not, because you still got to compete to get.
You have the 100% chance to make sure those two, one of them go home, or you can bank on 50%. Like, I don't know how. He just like, no, that's too complicated. That's more depending on the Kieran playing an idol, and then Nicole playing a fire idol. That's more complicated than making sure we just don't do any of that. So if they play an idol, that's good.
You know, the only thing that could have happened, and the only thing that Anella and Nicole should have done, is just kept them themselves, right? Say they were going to work with the boys because they were both going to vote Santoni, right? They knew the other 2 boys. They knew Santoni and Chappies were going to vote Tyson. Why didn't they just turn around and them 2 just vote Kieran? And then without talking about it, that's all they had to do. They didn't have to talk about it to anyone, and everyone would have been like, "Oh, wow, this is a huge move by Nicole and Smash," right?
No, but Smash wants people to know that is his move. That's why he communicated to Chappie and Santoni, because he wants to. You can't claim your move if no one knows about it, right? So that's what I think he wants to do. He wants to claim, and then Smash. I think the whole reason why he doesn't want to do the 2-2-2, because he said it himself, because he wants to be his move, and then you said it like, it's technically your move. You suggested it, but then he said like, no, because people interjected. That's not my move. So, and then his ego's hurt. Definitely ego's being hurt, and then that's why he's like, no, I don't want to do this anymore. Fuck this shit. I'm jumping back.
It makes no sense.
And jumping back and by telling...
It's his move regardless, because he's jumped across, right? And it's Nicole's move as well. He can't say it's just his, right? This is the issue. He wants to say it's just his, where it's technically Nicole's and his, because they come as a duo.
But he told Nicole the plan. So, like, technically, he's the one who sort of knows this information.
Oh, yeah, of course. And to be honest, Nicole would probably back him up too, right? Nicole would be like,
he can claim all the credit, but he just think like, I want 100%. Like, 100%. I own this company.
Yeah, it's just, I don't get it. I thought, to be honest, this was the episode where Smash was going to be like, when he did it, I'm like, oh, what's happening? I'm not used to this. Like, you know, I'm not ready for like Smash to become like a move maker. Like, it wasn't in my fantasy, and I was like sort of living for it for a second because we gave him so much shit for so many weeks. But then he does
this is too complicated.
the whole too complicated thing. And then we get the brilliant Santoni confessional of like Santoni saying, like, putting her fingers up and like showing us how easy it is to work it out. And I'm just like, what are you doing, Smash? Like, does he really want to go down as like the worst player of all time?
Well, I have never seen people that got his ego hurt so much because someone suggested a sort of improved plan that he went and turned around and just screw his own game as well.
She's like, it makes more sense to go 2-2-2, and I'm like, yeah, it does. It really does. And he's like, nah, I don't want to do that. I want to have a chance of going home here.
Like, no, you know what? You can see his face. Like, I think someone said it in the confessional. Like, he's just like when someone like does 2-2-2, he's like, yo, no, yeah, okay, this is, you guys want to do that? Yeah, that's fine. Let's do that. he's like,
my plan hasn't come. It's not my plan anymore. I'm so pissed off. I'm angry. Me smash things.
Is that why he's like? Is that why he's called Smash? Because
I have no idea. Probably. It makes sense, right? Gets real angry and just smashes things. Because that's the rage he was sort of like off-putting.
And then we saw him went back to Kieran, and then he's like, Kieran, yo, I need to tell you something. I'm actually planning to blindside you. It's like Kieran was like, oh, wow. And I'm like, yeah, like I don't want Nicole to go, and yeah, I don't agree with it, and so I told him that you have an idol as well. So I just want to be complain to you. This is my plan, and I know I fucked up. I'm sorry. Can we still move forward together?
It was horrible. I'm just like, what are you doing? Like, it makes my camera is really bad. It makes no sense to like even go and tell the person you're potentially blindsiding to tell them that you're blindsiding them, because then they're just going to be like, we don't like you anymore. Like, we're going to try and put the vote on you now. And like, they could have easily just turned around and put on Smash.
Yeah, I was like, well, I would have be like, I would vote you out. But because,
to be honest,
like,
if I was Santoni, I would possibly even think about going to him and being, hey, look.
Well, okay, we can discuss what Santoni did wrong here, because that's another bad move.
She did a couple of things wrong, mainly in the tribal cancel.
Yeah. Do you want to skip forward, or you happy with what we?
Is there anything else we really need to discuss?
No, the only thing, we and then you have like Kieran's gonna say he's gonna blow Smash's plan up in the trouble, which he did.
Yeah,
and
it's the actual first time we see some emotion from Kieran.
Yeah,
and it happens to be in the final 6. To be honest, like, I think Kieran's playing a great game, but from like a connecting with him level, I have not at all.
He's hiding behind this like cool, calm, and collected persona. He's like not involved. He just like control things at the behind the scene. So like that's why I feel like that's why my criticism with him as well. Like I can't, like, if he wins, it's boring. Like I don't know who Kieran is.
It really dampens the season, doesn't it?
But
like
now,
he's really good at gameplay. Like, don't get me wrong, he's really good at gameplay, really good at social and stuff like that. But that doesn't come across when you're watching it.
Yeah,
it really doesn't.
But now he does have he had this emotional sort of like outburst, to be like like being like. So I feel like that's okay. That's if he wins out, I feel like that's fine. But if he were continuing having the same edit as before, I'll be like, who's this?
Yeah.
Who's this guy?
I get that feeling. I'm happy that he did actually show some emotion, but it was sort of negative though, wasn't it? The way he was going about it. Like, to me, it seemed negative. Like, I sort of got like a negative feeling from it. I'm just like, oh, he's going for him.
I think because it's quite emotional, and then the way he spoke. But I feel like I'll be the same too, because that guy was just putting and then the whole like talking with Santoni and the whole thing. But I feel like he's accurate. Santoni's been burning bridges, and Santoni's won her stuff to do her way. And Santoni can't just go around and be like, no, you like that's not like you guys don't listen to me. But she hasn't been listening to anyone else either. So like it's a two-way street. So I feel like it's okay. He's showing his emotional. He's showing he's a human. He's not like fucking robot. So I'm sorry, robots.
Well, at least we now know that he's not a robot, because to be honest, the first 12 episodes he came across robotic. Yeah. To me, I'm just like, if this guy wins, I'll be like sort of blurred. Like it was sort of dampen the season, but if we get like a couple of great good episodes at the end with Kieran of like him like losing his shit, I'm all there for it.
Yeah.
That's where I'll be like, cool, no worries. We've seen him actually be human, and I'm happy to see that because like there is no way you're out there for 39 days and you're not human and you're not even showing any emotion. Like it makes no sense. So, it's good to see that. I guess in the tribal council, we see Santoni start to speak up, and to be honest, I don't think it changed anything. I really feel like they're voting her anyway.
Yeah, but I do feel like she's piping up for no reason. It's just like Kieran was talking about him and Ella, and then she just jumped in like Kieran, blah blah blah, and then she put the focus back to her. I feel like that's unnecessary. She should have just buried Ella, right? Like you keep burying it, but not like dropping it back to you.
What do you feel like? How do you feel about the fire idol being played? I actually thought it wasn't going to be because it could have actually put Nicole at risk. Like to me, it makes no sense to do it if you know you could be at risk, but you don't know if you like you're not going home, but you know you might get a vote or two. Like, why play it?
I feel like Nicole wants Tyson to go home. Because she voted with the Chappie and
She did.
She did. So she wanted them to go home. So that's the only reason why I think that's why she played it, but I'm not too sure whether that is because she did say like, oh, I'm like Tyson was like, oh, Nicole, don't do it next time, blah blah blah. She's like, no, I won't. So I don't feel.
However, I guess Anella Smash said to Nicole that they were targeting him as well, targeting her, sorry, as well. So I guess playing it makes sense. Plus, it was the last time you could play it.
Yeah, I feel like Tyson almost went home.
Yeah.
So
that fire making challenge had me fangirling so hard when Santoni made that fire straight away. I'm like,
and then you have that's another I think it's also showing Tyson like it's his like sort of took a hit as well because jury was like what is he doing? Like why is it Tyson can't it's like what he's doing with like the he's like I don't know what he's doing with the Flint, and then people are like, what's he doing? What's wrong with him? Like he's gonna get beaten by Santoni? So I don't think he looks good in front of jury as well. So
no. And everyone was shocked at Santoni made fire. They're like, what? I'm like, she's been practicing. They've been making the rice together out in the bushes, but yeah, it's really weird how that actually became full circle because it's the only thing I think I've seen this season that sort of came full circle is Santoni with the fire idol, right? Her asking Chappies like 3 episodes ago, 2 or 3 episodes ago, asking help to learn how to make fire because it's going to come up maybe for her one time. And then it finally comes full circle. She still doesn't win. She just didn't put all the husk on it. She didn't pull a Danny.
Can I just say, I think the win is a big issue. I feel like
she would have won ages ago.
No, her flame would just go away from the rope, whereas Tyson's position sort of kind of like affected, but least affected compared to Santoni. Because
she was in a more open area, right? Because he was like more in the corner, right? So he was like sort of. I feel like it does play position. Could she stand in front of it, or did they have to sit in the chair?
I don't know, but I also wondering who chooses the seat. Like, can you say like I want to sit there instead of, like because with this is sort of the rumor. I'm not sure what is true. Stephanie and Bobby John in Palau did have the famous fire challenge when they are the last 2, and then I think something with the win as well. I'm not sure what it is. Stephanie did re-ask to reset again, so I'm wondering if Santoni could have just said like, "Hey, like the wind's not blowing this way," like But obviously,
why am I getting wind and he's not? Like it's
like it's sort of like it's not equal position now. Like and then so maybe she could have say like, "Hey, like this is not fair," or I don't know if it's just whatever how the placement like. Can you choose? If she's choosing to be there, then that's fine. But like if she's being placed there,
it's a bit I don't know. To be honest, she made it first. It was touching her rope first
Yeah.
as well. So I don't know. I feel like if you make the fire to a certain height, maybe it should just be. That's how it should.
I don't know. She could have.
Because
Yeah.
the rope, look, if the rope was thicker, and it was getting another part of the rope, it would have burnt the whole rope, right? I don't know. I have some.
Yeah, I feel like she should have. When she had a steady flame going on, she should have just chucked all the husks and just let it blow up.
Yeah,
and
just like
yeah,
burn the flag even, like, like burn the whole lot. Just burn
the
set
whole
down.
tribal.
Yeah, the whole set's burnt down from so we see our queen depart. This is a very sad moment for me. We all knew that she wasn't making it. It was pretty obvious, but I wasn't expecting her to get so far. Legit, every episode she wasn't going home. I'm just like, could it happen? Like, it gave me a bit of like false hope, that I'm like, we could witness something great here.
Well, unfortunately, the jury isn't part of the Stan Tony's fan.
Yeah, I feel like they might be now, though. I feel like they might be afterwards.
Maybe, but yeah, I don't think Stan Tony's going to get a vote in the final 3 or final 2. Because
if Chappies was there, maybe.
Yeah, Chappie. But like, she's not going to win, basically, based on the jury reaction.
Yeah. So I guess we should talk about our kiss, marry, kill.
Yeah.
And I will start off with the kiss.
Let's start with a kill. Like, kill is easy because
Smash.
No, I can cue Smash. You can cue Kieran for the suggesting Nicole on.
Look, yeah, actually, you know what? I feel like the fact that Kieran just decided to start showing emotion now really hurts him. Like, from a viewing point, it helps him because you can actually understand who he is now. But from a playing point, it really hurt him, I reckon, because like he showed emotion, and I feel like now things are going to start getting to him, and it could potentially be a downfall. To be honest, he's more than likely winning this season from how it's being edited. That's my guess. Would love a Chappies win. Would love Chappies to win out. I think that's great too. I'd love to see that. But yeah, I can't like, I can see him winning still, but I feel like this may have hindered him a bit.
I sort of not maybe, but I also feel like maybe the jury really want to see the human side of Kieran as well, like us. Like, maybe they have the same thing. Like, oh yeah, like Sophie crying in like South Pacific.
Yeah,
that made her more human. So I feel like maybe the jury is actually looking like us. Like they wanted some emotions coming from Kieran as well. So you never know.
Yeah. I guess I don't know. I just think choosing Nicole was the wrong choice, considering you're trying to take her like other ally to the final 3. I feel like it's just like, where does he sit after this? I mean, they could easily just flip the script on him. They flipped it on Nicole. Like, I just feel like
Smash should have known he's a goat.
yeah, he should have known he's a goat. He should still. I don't think he thinks that though. I feel like he thinks he's playing like a great game, but he's. I didn't get what's in his mind. I don't understand what he thinks.
I think actually, have you every anyone who in the final 3 knowing they're actually a goat? Like, is there anyone that came up to your mind? Like, I think everyone went in thinking they have a shot to win. So,
Baden in season 4 of Australian Survivor, he thought he could beat. He's had a great game,
but I don't know. Like, if I'm interesting to hear like the people who made Final 3 in the fan made version. If we have a chance, we can
on a fan made version.
Yeah, maybe because maybe we should next time when we interview people from Canberra, Backyard, or even Melbourne, we can ask like the Final 3 like whether they think they have a chance to win.
I remember we interviewed was it Jake and Samara?
Yeah.
They both knew Hell was winning.
Yeah.
They both said that they knew Hell was going to win. Spoiler, sorry guys.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. They're different though. They are casuals, and I feel like.
But they still went into the final knowing that they were going to lose.
Yeah, true. Okay. But
Like that's respect. Like from a casual point of view, like if you know you're going in losing, like that's a good. You're a good casual if you know that.
Yeah, no, you have good understanding.
You really are. Like if you understand that, like this person that's in the final 3 with you has played a better game, then and you know you're going to lose. Like I feel like though, if you know you're going to lose, you should somehow try and own the fact that you know you're going to lose. Like I feel like you could persuade a couple of votes by like not lying's wrong. Don't lie in a final 3. I feel like that gets you nowhere. But like explaining your point of view, like going across. It's the only way Smash can win, right? The only way Smash can win.
Yeah.
I'm gonna recircle back to the game. The only way I think Smash can win is to sort of like give his point of view of like I wanted to play the GOAT. Like that was my only option from the start of Merge, and this was the cards I was dealt, and the only way I could make it to the end was to play a GOAT. Now I know that might not be respected. However, I feel like that's the only way I could have got here. And if anybody has anything else they want to say about it, then you can say it because there's really no other route that I had. And he got to the end. Like a GOAT getting to the end should still be respected because they still got to the end. They did what other people didn't do. Yes, they didn't do much as far as
they didn't do anything. That's probably the reason why.
Yeah, but like I feel like a GOAT can still do something, right? So like if a GOAT like works out one blindside, are they considered a GOAT still, even though they've goated for the rest of the game? Probably, but like they've still orchestrated something that's.
Yeah, I think it depends down with like your personality as well. Like it depends on personality. I also think I agree with you. Like if you're a GOAT, just own to it. Like just say like you might not win, but you might at least get a few votes. If people really hate it,
your own respect, because if you go to the end explaining like that you've played this like fantastic game. In your head, like it's like the greatest game ever, but you deep down know you're not going to win, right? You should like speak the truth of what the jury are thinking about you, right? Not what you're thinking about yourself. If you're speaking what the jury are thinking about you, then they're understanding like of like what you've done, right? Because then they're going to think, oh, he's done exactly what we thought he did to get there. So then they're going to be like, oh, this actually sort of makes sense. Like, I know that sounds dumb, but like, if you're telling their truth, they're going to respect you more than what your truth is.
I also feel like if you have the self-awareness knowing you're a GOAT, you would have done something like to it. So like,
exactly. You would have tried something at the final 4 even.
Yeah.
Or the final 5 even. You know, you would have tried something. I would rather go home in like 6th place than go to the final 3 as a GOAT, personally. But yeah, that's my opinion. Like that's my opinion. Everybody has a different opinion on this, but I feel like if you are in the final 3 as a GOAT and you just end up there, own it. Own that you were the GOAT for the season and ride that wave because you could still win, and we've seen it before.
And so you want to kill Smash and now you want to kill Kieran or
I want to kill Smash because like it was bloody horrendous. He gave me like secondhand embarrassment. Like I was hiding behind my couch cushion when he was like talking to Kieran. I'm just like, I can't watch this. What were you doing? Like it makes no sense. Like I thought I was a bad Survivor player, but he just like he took the cake. Like
you have to be a bad Survivor player to last to quite far, I guess.
I guess that's the truth, you know. I guess that's what it is, you know. Make it to the end of bad at the game.
We can find peace in that.
Yeah. I can find peace that Smash has made it to the end, which means you can be a good player, you can be a bad player. It's just how the dice roll. Like, you know, dice are rolled good for Smash this season. That's it. He's had a good run. Like it's that's the issue with Survivor. People think it's always you know, you've got to play every round, you've got to, you know, do that stuff. But to be honest, the whole thing is about surviving, right? The whole thing is making sure your name's not next. That's it. Like that's your game. Like that's how Sandra plays, right? And that's Survivor. It's not about like whipping out an idol and like blindsiding one person like 8-1 or whatever. Like it's not about that. The whole idea is just make sure your name's not next and you get through it with alliances. It sounds boring.
Oh my god, Josh, you finally, we are on the same page.
But that's Survivor. But I also think Survivor is a game that's like played for the viewer's point of view, right?
Okay, let's just move on.
It's a viewer's game. When you're watching it, you want to see fun. So
okay.
That's why I sort of like the big plays. But yeah.
Okay, yeah. Marry. Who do you want to marry? You have to say it. You're gonna say it.
Nicole's brother.
I was
there. Hello.
I was expecting it. I was totally gonna say Kieran, but
I'll be the housewife.
Valid. You.
That's valid, isn't it?
No, maybe you want to kiss Nicole's brother, but not marry.
I could say a lot of things I could do to Nicole's brother. I cannot discuss them on the podcast. They are not allowed. But yeah, I would. Nah, I can't marry Nicole's brother. He's probably married. To be honest, low-key chappies, because he's made inroads with Nicole a lot recently, and going on to the next episode, you see a lot of chappies and Nicole talking. So I feel like Smash could switch sides and vote out Tyson.
That's what he needs to do, to be honest.
That's the only thing that Smash can do to redeem his game. Right? I feel like Kieran might win the next immunity. They'll vote out Tyson. That's my thought process and how the next episode's going to go. But I feel like Chappies is then going to like sort of be like the person. He's still going to be a target, but then like Kieran's going to be annoyed that Tyson's gone, and then we're going to see potentially a little blow up from Kieran. Again, we're going to see some bit more emotion. I don't know. I just feel like the blow up just sort of like it gave him like this trajectory. He's on a trajectory like this, right? And then he had his blow up. I just feel like it's just like flatline now. His game. I don't know. That's just my thought process. I just don't want Kieran to win. So that's I personally don't want it because I just don't like him as like a viewer.
Okay.
As a viewer, I don't like him. I think playing with him would be great. I think he'd be a great player. He is a great player. I'm not saying anything bad about his playing, how he plays, but like he would not be a pick for All Stars for me at all.
Yeah.
Because he's not a character.
Well, to marry, I want to stick with my winner pick. I think I finally picked the right winner pick this season. Kieran's gonna win. So, and for Kiss, Kiss, Nicole's brother, because he helped Kieran to pick an idol.
Didn't realize he was cheating on me. Okay, that's fine. No, yeah, Kiss,
Chappie for. Oh no, because you
Santoni.
Because
of her ridiculously great confessional. She's the only one that bloody made sense this episode. Everyone just like, I didn't understand. Chappies I sort of understood, but like, I didn't understand any of the other four people with what they were saying. Like, she's the only one that made sense of the 2-2-2 vote. She made fire. She won in the fire making challenges in my eyes because she made fire first. That's
right. I guess that's it. Okay, before we go, what do you think about the fire idol? You have lots of thoughts about it. You text me, so tell them.
I love the fire idol. I think the fire idol could be used as different things instead of fire. That could be like a slide puzzle, okay, let's talk about a live reality game sense now, because we are live reality games. Let's talk like from a point of view for like different types of idols that the game like live games could implement, because this came from a player. This came from Nick Idanza.
Yeah.
Right. So this was from like somebody in the community. I know that he's played Survivor, but like it was from somebody in the community thought about this idol, right? So why don't we think of potential different idols that could happen, like a challenge idol, where it's just like a slide puzzle, first person does it, it's like not out or whatever, like. There are other types of different things. Like idols are very powerful as they are because you play them up like before the vote, right? but maybe idols that don't guarantee safety as much, but like guarantee something, or like guarantee you a chance of staying, like something that's not as powerful.
The only reason I think for the live reality games is it does take up some time. So maybe we can do it in a pre-merge. For like Melbourne Survivor format, I think in the pre-merge sense, it does work. Like it makes sense because we are not chasing deadlines on the second day. But if we can do pre-merge, maybe that's a good like for letting people have more chance to stay back and do have a chance to.
Yeah, from like a live reality games prospect, right? You've got like a limited amount of days and like so much time per round because you've only got like 2 days or 3 days, depending on how you run your live reality game to how much time you can allocate for something like this. But if you were to like say, for example, we do our games, we do Melbourne Survivor on a Friday night where nobody gets voted out, nothing happens. Why not offer like an idol that happens at Tribal Council, right? Where it's just like the person with the highest amount of votes will go to the other tribe. Like just something small like that. Like it's an idol, but you play it on the first round and the person with the highest amount of votes will go to the other side. Or you can choose to play it before the merge. Just something small. It doesn't mean much. It means that like there's a non-elimination episode. Yeah, whatever. But it's a thought process, right?
It's a thought process. Yeah. I agree.
Or it can be played before you go and vote. So then it's technically you're not being voted out because everyone's mindset changes then. Let's vote out the person we don't want in our tribe then, not the person we think could be a threat.
Do we want elimination though?
Well, it's not a non-elimination. Like it's not though. Like, or maybe like you could lose 2 people as tribal, but like one person will go to the other tribe, and you don't know.
We can have a thought about this. Maybe you can see this in the next season of Melbourne Server, but let's keep it.
I just think like like say for example, season 4, like if there was such a thing, like this isn't going to happen. So if you're watching this trying to get some intel, it's not going to. But like we have a challenge on the first night. They go to Tribal Council the first night and somebody switches over to the other tribe. If we've got a 9-7 split on tribes or something. Like, wouldn't that be different? Like, it's cool. It's different. It gives people like tribal lines, and it also gives people like it shows alliances as well in that tribe to start off with. So they've got like that whole night to discuss, and the game's already started. I know, just something to get the game rolling where it's still not voting somebody out, so they still got like that whole experience of being outside, like sleeping like in the rough and like eating nothing. Which I think everyone sort of plays live reality games for. It's more for that aspect. It's more for the whole experience.
Yeah, I think you have a great idea, and we can talk about this. No,
it's just something to spice things up. You sort of want to.
I agree. Yeah, I agree with you.
I do have a plan that I want to talk to you straight after this.
Okay.
Yeah. But
okay, let's just end this. If you anything else you want to say?
No. Well, Victoria's still in lockdown. But we are, to be honest, I think it's looking like we should be out of like a lot of restrictions by the end of the year. So, with that in mind, we should once we hear a little bit more, because our premier's giving out stuff tomorrow. Once we hear a little bit more, I will talk to people about potential like trials and that again. To get stuff rolling again, and the editing and all that stuff. We need to. I've been very lazy.
I don't think we're gonna see until in November anyway.
Nothing until November. So don't stress. But yeah, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Shout out to I want to shout out to Dale who listens to this on his daily walks. That's good to listen to if you listen to this the whole way through. But yeah, okay. Thanks everyone.
Yeah, bye everyone. See you next week.
Bye.